Yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the
Sadly Relatable podcast.
We back, baby.
Yay, yay. I wanted to try something new today.
That was terrible, G.
Oh.
But how's life? Tell me.
Life is good. How's life for you?
Good, man. Welcome back, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all prospering, thriving.
Enjoying life.
How are you enjoying the heat as a newly hijab?
Well, to be honest with you, I don't really leave the house much. You guys know this. I spoke about it. But the days I have left the house, alhamdulillah, haven't been as bad.
Mm-hmm.
But jumping straight into it, right? Because I think this is going to be interesting because I've had this conversation with my friends, so it's interesting to like sit and have it with you. So I was saying to Jay how I'm the sort of person where when I get a thought, I have to act on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to, and I've learned over the years to the really bad ones not to, if that makes sense. But like when I feel like I'm being restricted, I will not do something. Do you get it?
You mean you will do it if you feel like you're restricted?
No, if someone's like saying stay in the house and don't go out, I want to go out.
Yeah,
do you get
that
it?
makes sense.
So I was saying to Jay, like, oh, I've heard people speaking about how their hijab journey is really hard, and I've seen a couple people taking off their hijab, and I'm like, it must be really hard for them to get to that point. And I was saying to Jay, like, at the start, I did kind of say to myself, what's the point when people online are just telling me I'm not hijabi, and maybe it's true, like, I say certain jokes and I'm not representing Islam properly. Then I realized, like, I don't care about them. But I was saying how if I get that feeling in my head to don't wear it anymore, like you see that thought or that feeling of, nah, you don't want to wear it anymore, I think I'm the sort of person that will act on it, like straight away. Inshallah, I don't. But I believe that, no, like the way I am, I think I'll be the sort of person that wakes up the next day and is like, no, I can't do it. I'm being forced by myself. Do you know what I mean? But I was saying, I was asking.
You're going to be in a never-ending loop because you don't like people telling you what to do. So if you tell yourself what to do, you're like, no, I'm not going to wear it. Oh, all right, I will wear it. No, I won't. Yeah, I will. No, I won't. He can't tell me what to do.
That's actually, you know, that's my life. That's actually my life. But imagine I go into like wearing it, taking it off, wearing it. No, God forbid, may Allah protect us and you guys and make it easy for everyone. I mean. So, and then I was saying, like, I'm kind of like blessed that I haven't had that feeling yet. I was like, to be honest, I thought it would happen like early on, like the feeling of no, especially with summer. And then what happened is literally, I think I gave myself evil eye because the next day, all that happened was I was scrolling on TikTok and all I saw was a video of a girl lip syncing in a car, but she had her hair down and you could tell that it was summer. And she was like kind of like...
the vibes.
And then literally for about 5 minutes, not 10 minutes, I was like, I don't know if I can do this, especially with summer.
But do you not see how messed up that is?
Yeah, wait for it. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this, especially with like summer, and I want to be able to do that, like enjoy my life. Like, that's all I've ever known, basically. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'll take it off tomorrow. But then I was thinking, oh, but what's my first video going to be back on social media? And then I was like, astaghfirullah. And then the feeling went away. It lasted about 5 minutes, but that's the first.
But I don't feel like, I'm not going to you, I can't imagine your hair, like, I saw a video on my Snapchat of you with your hair and I was like, oh, I realised I'm her brother. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm so used to like seeing you with a headscarf now.
Sometimes when you come over and like my hair's out, I find it weird because obviously we don't see each other a lot, especially you don't come to my flat a lot, like regularly. But I don't think, to be honest with you, I feel like it's second nature to me now. When I speak to hijabis or people who aren't hijabis, so if you are a non-hijabi who's wanting to wear the hijab, it's very... I explain like it's not that big a deal. Like apart from that little 5 minutes moment of weakness that the shaitan gets in.
I think the journey is different for everyone though.
Yeah, of course. Of course it's different for everyone. But I mean, for me, my personal experience is it's not as big as I thought it was going to be. It's not like oh my God, I have to do this. And if anything, I'm going to be real with you 100%. And I think this is maybe the reason why I've been so firm on wearing it. Like I'm not going to sit and lie about my intentions is... It's made my life easier in terms of I get so overwhelmed with getting ready and doing things that imagine you're so overwhelmed with having to plan your day, shower, pray, do your face, do your hair, pick an outfit.
You got rid of one of your to-dos.
I got rid of one of them and it's made my life basically less overwhelming for me. I'll be real with you.
That's sick. Soon you're going to do the whole niqab, everything. Don't even have to do my makeup, just my eyes.
Don't even need to brush my teeth.
Just do a wing and some, that's it.
Yeah, no. And I love it. I'll be honest with you. I find it's just normal. Is it normal? Do you think it's normal?
Yeah, it feels so normal. I'll be honest. I feel like I don't remember. Like I remember got like some save videos of us doing TikToks together and I'm like, what the hell? She used to like show herself like this. Like it's weird.
I used to wear like, I was bad. But you know what's crazy is me and Fedor's done it at the same time. We literally, it was during Ramadan, and sometimes we're on the phone and I'm like, Fedor's, do you not find it mad like that we're actually hijabis? Like, me and you are hijabis, the way we used to dress, like this and that. And she was like, yeah. And I don't know, it's a nice journey, especially because I've been speaking about it for so long.
Yeah, that's like, do you know what's crazy about that for me as well? Because I mentioned that I made a lot of dua during like my Umrah trip for certain things.
For me to wear the hijab as well?
Yeah, of course.
During Umrah?
During Umrah, yeah. I said that in that episode as well. There's a lot of things I made dua for, and like a lot of them were like ones that I made dua for, and I was praying that Allah gives them to me, but they weren't like, I didn't see them happening in the next year. In my head, I wasn't like thinking that it wouldn't happen. In my head, just like you in a headscarf, just knowing where you were, I was like, yeah, hopefully before she dies. Like, didn't know what was going to come. Maybe you're going to be older. And like a lot of the things that I thought were going to happen in the future, like further down the line, happened in that year. Yeah. Which to me was like, whoa.
Yeah. That's why I say, I was
crazy,
speaking to a non-Muslim yesterday, and we were speaking about religion, and he was very interested. It was at the Connect event. Mm-hmm. It was one of their influencers that they signed, and he was very knowledgeable on Islam, because it's the first time I've basically seen all the other influencers as a hijabi. Mm-hmm. So like...
Oh, did you get questions in that?
No, I don't. But this is what I like. Even like when I first saw him...
It's that awkward, like, see a woman, you don't know if she's put weight on or if she's pregnant, so you just don't say anything. I like how everything's normal.
No, I get why you think that, but this is the thing. I thought that putting them on the hijab, that's what would happen. Yeah. And I also, when the first time I went out, I was like, everyone's looking at me. No one cares. You don't get it. No one cares. Like, even... Ashley, who I was speaking to, I made a joke. I was like, oh my God, the last time I saw you, I was like, do you like my new hair? And he was like, yeah, I do. Like, no one pays attention. Even him, he said it. He was like, it's just normal. He was like, and I thought that people would, like, they'd mention it. No one cares, honestly.
Yeah. It's very much, we've mentioned this before, spotlight syndrome. And
I basically think I'm the most important thing and the world revolves around me.
No, yeah, like everyone really believes, and it's not even like an attention thing where you think you're cool, but because you're all you know. Yeah. What? You are all you know. Yeah. So when you step outside, you go into a store.
Why do you always call it store? You watch too many American Netflix.
I think I'm too American culturalization something. Anyway, yeah, you go into like a shop or whatever. It's like literally the spotlight effect. You feel like the light's on you and everyone's looking and they're
noticing. You're the main character. They're the side people.
But you don't realize. Just look at yourself. I literally look at this guy could headbutt the wall, and within a minute I'm forgetting about it and going on about my day and doing what I need to do. Like, and I've seen videos on TikTok where people are like trying to convince people, look, you can do, because a lot of people suffer with that social anxiety. They suffer with really like scared of people judging or whatever. But people forget. Like, he was going around doing crazy stuff, and then like he'll be like, look, I did that a minute ago. No one's even. They're probably going on about their day thinking about something else.
Yes, but that's the thing. And you know what? I feel like it's good that people are doing those videos. I've even seen a girl do videos of like, no one cares what you wear at the gym, and she'll wear some crazy like pajamas at the gym and stuff. It is true though, because when you walk into a shop, for example, we just done it, so I'm imagining that you're looking at all these people, right? But your life and your focus and your day is in your brain, and you're the main character. Mm-hmm. But they've got the exact same thing. But when you see them, you don't focus on them. You don't look at them and think, oh my God, this, that, and they literally just pass you. And
then I forget about them. Like, now I'm trying to even think. I can't even remember their faces right now. We went into that store.
Yeah.
Literally before we started filming, we went to a shop. I can't even remember their faces. Like, I can't remember what the people around us looked like. Except for maybe the cashier, because I've seen him a few times, so I kind of understand. He wasn't there today. I know, but I know the general one that like kind of is there.
It was literally a girl.
Yeah, I don't know. I think
he was making things up in his brain.
No, but I'm saying like, so I think that's something when I saw it. I know.
The cashier at the store. The cashier at the store.
Yo, what's up, dudes? What's up, dudes? Welcome back to the Sadly Relatable podcast. We got an amazing episode for you guys right here.
It was just way too many. I think it's podcasts. To be fair, I like American like based movies and films.
I'm very heavily like everything that I watch on YouTube is like American. So
yeah, so the cashier was kind of cute. Yeah,
that is kind of weird. What the hell?
No, it's not. Who cares? And look, he's wearing a baseball jersey,
bro. It's not baseball, first of all.
No one cares. It's American football. America don't want you, bro.
But actually, I got this when I was in America, in Philadelphia, when they won the Super Bowl, and I was in Philly, so I was like, I have to get a jersey just to remember this moment. It was sick.
Oh, cute. I like it. I'm not gonna lie, it's nice.
It's like extra large, yeah.
I didn't ask. So, as I was saying...
I was talking about Spotlight, anyway. So, I think it really paralyzes a lot of people. Like, I've noticed a lot of people deal with being, like, worrying about people thinking something about them, even if it's not that deep. And I've witnessed it firsthand with people that I know that go through that type of stuff. And I feel like it's quite limiting. You kind of put yourself in this box where you can't enjoy yourself. You can't go out and do things.
I think there should be a limit though. Because don't just go out. Like, for example, I went to a restaurant the other day and there was a girl that was like extremely loud and rude. And she was going up to like the DJ and kind of getting in his face. I think there's a limit. Like, understand that as long as you're not like harassing anyone or being like over the top, no one cares. Do you get it? But as well, like, just, I'd say always, and this is something I try to do, which obviously I'm not perfect at all the time, but like what you've said is you try and show the best version of yourself.
Yeah, I always say put your best foot forward. Like, if you're in the street, if you're wherever you are, you're meeting people, have fun, be yourself, but you want to present yourself in the best way possible. I think Islamically that holds true as well, in a sense, if you are yourself an example of the religion. So if you want to bring people towards it and guide people in that sense, like giving dawah, you want to make sure you're a good representation. Yeah,
and that's what I like about our religion. Along with a few other things. I wanted to tell you something, right? And this is for our Muslim audience. If you're not a Muslim, then maybe just listen.
Join us.
Listen and try and understand, because you could do this even if you're not a Muslim, basically. So I was at the Connect event yesterday and I saw a couple that were there, and they had their 2 daughters with them. They were so cute and just like well behaved, Allahumma barik, like children. And if you're not a Muslim, Allahumma barik just means like blessings on them.
It means may God bless you.
So I said like, they're just cute, Allahumma barik children.
May God bless. May God bless them.
If you're not a Muslim, you think I'm like describing them.
What is that witchcraft she's saying in between the sentences?
Stuff. But yeah, we saw them, and then I was speaking to the mum. She seemed so lovely, and then I was speaking to the little girl, and she was 4 years old, and I was like, "How old are you?" And she was like, "I'm 4. I'm gonna be 5 next week." And then I was like, "Oh, really?" And I was like, "What are you doing for your birthday?" And then she kind of looked up at her mum, and then she looked at me, and she goes, "We don't celebrate birthdays." And I was just like, oh, like, she said it so like well and like confidently, like we don't celebrate birthdays. And then I asked her mum, I was like, "Oh, what's the reason that you guys don't celebrate birthdays?" She said religious reasons, and they were Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's the same reason as to why us Muslims shouldn't celebrate birthdays. But I feel like this is what, for me, it was very inspiring, to the point where like having a 4-year-old say to me, "I don't celebrate birthdays," genuinely was a turning point for me, that this is the first year I've said I'm not ever celebrating birthdays again. Yeah,
I think what's crazy about it is when you see a child who, if anything, they care more about that stuff.
It
shows you that, like, so think about society, we're kind of, we are trained and conditioned into like these norms of like birthdays and Halloween, all these different things. But it shows when parents have a certain value and they teach and bring their children up correctly, that a child can live a life where they're not feeling like they're missing out. They're confident, like, this is what we believe. And that is something that I've been so like really looking into recently, and just trying to understand how to install certain values into your children. Not forcing it though. Because
you having a baby?
No. Inshallah, I plan to have a baby at some point in life. But in my head, I'm really like, I've been seeing the school system, the things they're pushing on kids and everything. And for me, I'm like, I think first step for me is I really want to do homeschooling.
Really?
Yeah, like it's very
But you can't read.
Luckily, it ain't me that's teaching them. Anyway, I'll be there with them. Wait, what is that saying? Are you sure?
He's like, his wife's homeschooling the children and him. Wait, this is so hard. He's copying his son's work.
Homework. You got to fail for copying him. But that
was funny.
I definitely think that's something I'd want to do. And I feel like a lot of, like, for example, homeschooling is such like a big thing that some people avoid. They feel like, oh, they're not going to be able to socialize with people. But I feel like if you can find a good balance, and obviously Allah's the best of planners, and like if you can financially do it, inshallah, like He makes it easy for you. But you could like put them in after school clubs. I'd still put them in things where they socialize with kids and go to these different things, or start swimming or sports. So they have the ability to socialize. But with apparently homeschooling, it's so much easier. And you don't have to do all the hours. There's like, they give you the curriculum and you can
just
do
get
them
it
out.
done however you want. The only thing of homeschooling, I've never really, like, I don't really have an opinion on it. The only thing of homeschooling that I'm pretty sure that I read once, that a lot of people who are homeschooled they're not done correctly, so that children end up falling behind like certain years.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say if you're like dedicated to it, or even if like, I don't know, homeschooling, I guess you could get teachers to come in and do the homeschooling
Or like
for
people
you.
that can do like
tutors and stuff like that,
yeah.
So that's the only thing I'd say. But yeah, carry on what you were saying anyway.
Yeah, because I just want to be able to like implement certain values, because I find it really sad, yeah, when I think about religiously, and it can be any religion, a lot of people have not really taken the journey on themselves.
Yeah.
They either got put into it and they're forced into it, and then they either believe what they don't, or they're just not really, they're not 100%, they kind of follow, but they don't understand why.
And
you ask them a question, why do you do this? I don't know.
A lot of my friends as well, and because I had to get out of this, and I think I wasn't in it as much because I'm not as, I think aren't as in our culture as much as other people would be, and that's because, you know, like our dad kind of left our life earlier on, and he was more of like the freshie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, and then our mom was like speak English to us, and then so I feel like for us, we learned a little bit more religious side rather than cultural side, because there was a lot of things that my friends taught me about life in general, but then Islamically, there was a lot of things that I taught them, and they were like, no way, I didn't know that wasn't haram.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, I didn't know that, because culture and religion, a lot of people, they have things in their brain culturally, and they mix it up with religion.
There's a lot of people that leave religion thinking that it's terrible because of the aspects that culture brings into it and stuff like that. And like, for me, I don't know, just knowing that people don't really get to experience that has made me so like, I want to make sure I teach my children and actually educate them. Like, I don't remember being really a kid and someone sitting down to me and being like, why do you believe in Islam?
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you, the reason I believe it, I tell my children, the reason I believe it is because I believe the Quran comes from God, and that it can only come from God because of these. Look, your kids can be so much smarter than you think you are. You know, we play dumb with kids sometimes, or don't worry, he don't understand. I've seen kids around the world that are so educated.
Yeah.
Like, if you can just do it properly, they'll understand. They'll sit down and have an educational conversation with you. They'll speak about anything you want if you just educate them correctly.
They say not to, I 100% agree. They say not to speak to your children in baby voices. You know, like there's a lot of well-spoken 2, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and the mums, like when you ask them or when they've done research, they'll literally say like they never spoke to them. They spoke to them like adults. Like, are you okay? Do you want anything? But a lot of people, and it's obviously second nature, because if something's cute, you're going to be like, oh my God, you're so cute.
Yeah.
And like, do you know what I mean? But I think that's something that I would try to do as well, is speak to them in like an adult voice. Another thing I'd say is just back to what we started off with.
Clean your room! Instead of wiggling about in his cot.
That wasn't funny.
Oh.
It was funny a little bit, but then I don't know why I saw 2 beard hairs on your chest, and it like kind
Why
of.
are you sending for me, Jean?
Why are your beard hairs falling out? You're right. You've been stressed out.
I don't know, man. Life's getting hard. No, I'm joking. Alhamdulillah.
He goes, no, I'm joking. So what I was going to say is, the little girl inspired me to not celebrate birthdays. And I say inspired because I have friends over the years who have stopped celebrating birthdays, and I'm going to keep it 100% real with you guys. In my head, I thought, bro, it's not that deep. Like, in my head, I'm like, okay, like, yeah, maybe when I'm a bit older, and I thought it's not that deep. And now I've realized it is that deep. If you look into, you know, the rituals behind birthdays and the whole, where it came about, it's very, like it's a pagan celebration.
Yeah, it's like close to like idol worship and all that kind of
exactly.
stuff.
Like, I think it would class as shirk. I think it does. And like even the candles and the cake, it all has a deeper meaning.
A lot of this stuff does, which is kind of scary. Like,
but it just passes our brains.
Even like Santa Claus, like a lot of these things, for example, like you believe they're religious, but when you look into it properly.
And Halloween as well.
Yes, even Valentine's Day, it has such a demonic theme behind it. It's quite scary.
It all does. But that's why I say the birthday thing, we as children, like I've had birthday parties, our parents probably didn't deep it. Even us, you would have celebrated your birthdays. It's not that deep, right? But guys, it really is. And I feel like for me personally, on my journey, I'm trying like remove any unnecessary sins. I never have a good birthday anyway. Like, it's not that deep.
I can't even help it. The last 3 of my birthdays, people throw me a surprise party. I'm not even trying to do it. It just happens.
Imagine you walk in, surprise! No, just run away.
Enough of this.
You're all going to hell. No, but I think, do you think you'll stop as well?
Of course, man. I don't want to
so
spend
now,
more
guys,
money. I'm joking.
Oh, yeah.
Tell the kids, birthdays ain't a thing.
I'm joking. Oh, speaking of birthdays, I have something to tell you lot. But before I do, if any of you guys watch this and you decide to take it upon yourself to stop celebrating birthdays, imagine a little 4-year-old who was just like brought up by good parents has now influenced me to stop. And now, Ayub, I'm guessing you're going to stop.
Yeah.
I'm judging you if you don't.
I don't really celebrate him anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, like, even saying happy birthday.
Yeah, you're going to have to. It's going to make a lot of people upset, but you're going to have to
firm it. And you, maybe even you guys. So.
Do you know what's funny, yeah? There's probably someone watching this who's not Muslim. They're like, man, these guys can't do nothing. No, honestly, guys, I know to a lot of people it may look like something that's quite restricting, but I promise you, there's so many benefits and so many
beautiful things.
And like, if you just really ask the right people, look into things, and understand why we don't do certain things, and you'll realize how freeing it actually is. To be honest, instead of being locked into like society's norms of doing certain things that are actually sometimes not really that good for you, and there's so much that goes into it. Trust me, like it's not as like suffocating.
I don't think it's suffocating at all. Like,
yeah.
Okay, wait. Obviously, I'm talking about the life I live now. Obviously, I don't live the most, like, halal. I'm not the perfect person.
No one is.
But I mean, like, in the sense of, even me, I don't think I do a crazy amount of haram. I'll be honest with you. I think the most haram I probably do is...
She's going to tell us.
It's, like, on the weekends, I'll have, like a shot of vodka. And then, like... I'm joking, guys.
Someone will actually clip that.
No, that was a joke. What I mean is, the most haram I do, I think, is more, like, wearing makeup and like making inappropriate jokes on live. Social media basically is all the haram I do. And like music and things like that. But we can get better, inshallah. What I was going to say is a story that I think I may have said on a podcast 2 years ago. So, and this is a childhood story. So like, I'm remembering my childhood. I've speak the whole episode today.
I know. You won't shut your mouth. No, I'm joking. That's what you're here for. We want to hear you speak.
No, there's truth behind the joke. I'm not explaining my story.
No, please. Before you forget it, I knew you were going to forget it. Anyway, guys.
I didn't forget. I'll try and shut up after this.
Don't worry, I got you.
So, sorry guys, I'm very like... So, when I was younger, and I think you might know this story, we basically grew up in our childhood. I don't think we've ever done like a talk through my life, but we had, I'd say, a bit of a difficult childhood financially. We were in women's refuges. We went to a lot of different schools. We like experienced domestic violence, and we were in hostels. I remember me and you and Mum were in like a 1-room hostel with like, I don't know why it's funny.
Because like we've mentioned it a few times. There's probably another person watching it going, "All right, we get it."
No, I'm trying to give a backstory.
No, I know. There might be new people here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to give like so people understand the context behind what I'm about to say. So we had, especially money issues, we did have a lot. Like there was times where we didn't eat because we didn't have money and things like that. So I remember it was like the time where we were struggling with money, and I must have been, I would say like, honestly, probably like 11. And at this point, I guess I wasn't taking in like the dates, like so what day it was, what time it was. Maybe I was even younger. I might have been even younger, right? And so it was a day, right? And I remember we were going to like our nans in Bury St Edmunds, and before then I had gone to the park, and I was in the park playing with like one of my friends, and then we met like the people from like the different estates. They were just playing there. We were little kids, and then everyone started talking about birthdays, and they were like, "Oh, when's your birthday? Da da da. When's your birthday?" And I remember this doesn't really relate to the story, but just something happened that day that is mad.
Yeah.
And we were all saying our birthdays, and I said my birthday. I was like, 14th of April. Everyone went on with their day, Everyone just went on with their day. Like we moved on after birthdays played. I went home, and then I'm sat in the car, and we're about to go to my nan's, and our auntie, which she's a little...
She snaked it.
She's a little starer, bruv. She looked at me, but she's how much older is she than us?
She's like
8 years older than us.
8 years maybe older.
So she wasn't like a full-on adult. She was like...
No, she's 5 years older than me.
Oh, 5 years old. So 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, and I remember she was like a teenager, and she was like, "You know, it's your birthday today. They just didn't tell you because they can't."
What a snake!
She goes, "You know, it's your birthday today. They just didn't tell you because they can't afford anything."
What? That's so messed
And I
up.
started crying, bro. And I looked at my mum. I was like, "How could you?" And from what I remember, I just was so upset that it was my birthday and they didn't tell me.
Wow, she's a snake.
Yeah.
No. I thought she accidentally said it.
No, she said it on purpose. Ayub, she looked at me. She goes, "You know."
That's so messed up. She wanted to see you in pain, G.
No. So yeah, and
you
then
must have annoyed her.
No, but then I ended up like me crying so much must have like made my mum use like her child benefits that month on a candy floss machine, because we went that day and I got a candy floss machine.
And then the rest of us went hungry for a month. And this was there about candy floss. Guys! And I'm like, give me that. Eating it to survive.
Oh, that is
My
so
God.
funny.
Still can't have candy floss to this day.
I love
No, I'm
candy
joking,
floss.
I love it as well.
Is that why I love candy floss?
Maybe.
Maybe.
No, I just think it's a
Because
universal thing that everyone likes.
we didn't have any food, but I was the one working overtime to feed my family with my candy floss machine. Oh,
that's so funny.
That is funny. I wish, guys, you know what? I'm going to stop talking after this, yeah?
Yeah, sorry.
I wish I had good memory, because the way I would come with some crazy stories, because I know there's crazy ones there.
Yeah, there is stuff. I remember like so much from like, sometimes I think it's crazy, the amount of times that we would like go to like Bury St Edmunds and we'd go and play with our cousins in the park.
It felt like a movie.
And like we used to, I just remember like little things happening, like even arguing with little kids and stuff like that.
Life was so good. It felt like a movie, did it not? And like, even just going to the park on a summer's day and going back into your nan's to get a drink.
I remember? Do you remember going past that tree towards Braham's house and it would have conkers on it?
And we'd collect the little conkers. Things.
And then there was like a game where you'd put it in a string and try like smash the other person's conker.
I don't remember that,
It's
but
such
I remember.
like a 1861 child's like play. Like back in the day when they had nothing, they only had horses.
Yeah, they'd like make games out of like conkers.
Nature and stuff like
that. Yeah, no, I remember as well, we used to collect them. I'd just go back to my mum's on the weekend, after a weekend at my nan's with bare conkers.
Yeah, in a container, and they'd be like, what the hell's going on here?
We would look at them like, why?
Don't you think is that there's little things that like we've all lived the same life? Like, for example, it's just our grandma having that box of biscuits that now is like for pins and needles. Why is that such a universal thing that everyone's been through?
What else is a universal thing? I think with our nan, you know what's funny about nans, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys' nans do this. I know my friend's nan does it and my nan does it. Why? And I noticed that I started to display some of those traits as I got older. But why do nans buy like things, right? And they'll hoard them, like a stash of them, to like save it for like a special day. Mm-hmm. And that special day never comes. Like if I go to my nan's, especially when I was younger, like, can I have some socks? She'll be like, yes. And she'll take out like these new socks that she's had for like 10 years.
Yeah, literally.
But like brand new in a packet. I bought these, they were a good deal. Yeah. And I noticed myself doing it where I would just wear all my bummy clothes and like ripped socks and this and that. And I would save all my nice stuff. And I realized that the days that I wanted to use them was never coming round. Yeah. Like, enjoy your stuff now.
That's the same. Like, I'd go to my grandma's and be like, can I get a toothbrush? She'll open up the drawer like she's a pharmacist. Brand new toothbrushes from dating back from 10 years.
Anything you ask
and
for.
You want the latest gadgets. Got this from the car boot.
Yeah,
car boots.
Did you guys ever go to car boots?
Is that a thing in London?
It is, but I don't think people went to them.
But like car boot is like when you basically, it's like a market, but everyone gets their stuff from home and sells it. And like, I don't know if it's an ethnic thing, but like the elders in our family are like car boot professionals.
Yeah.
On a Sunday, they will get there at like 4 a.m.
I used to love the car boot.
Yeah, I'm not lying to you. I remember just going with Wimmer and all it is a bunch of junk. But as a kid, even now, I can go now and like just walk around and pick up stuff and be like, this is kind of cool.
Hey, should we go to a car boot?
Yeah, I was planning to go. Apparently there's one in Ely that's huge, like really good. Our uncle went to it recently and we want to go. It's like every 2 weeks. Apparently it's like a mad one.
Let's go because you can get vintage stuff and like thrifting.
Yeah, literally. There's a guy there. He sat down, my uncle sat down and spoke to him. He had a box, he opened it, and there's loads of different watch faces that he collected. They're vintage watches they don't understand. A lot of people just like get rid of their vintage watches or their grandparents, and they're worth like $2,000, $3,000. He collects and sells them.
Aye, for $2,000 a car boot, I'm bringing £2, mate.
Yeah, no, not he sells it at the car boot. He buys them for like £1.
Oh yeah, and then he
resells them because he knows about watches, so he understands which makes that can do well and stuff like that.
That's so clever, though.
Yeah.
A funny story about a car boot. I don't know why my childhood is coming back to me today. I'm gonna end up leaving crying.
Yeah. Funny about a car boot, and then this happened.
I can't believe this. So, I went for a stage, guys, where you guys know that my dad said to me, like, look, if you don't wear the hijab, he went through his religious phase and he was like, I want you to wear the hijab. And I was like, for a while, I pretended to wear it. I'd say for like a year. Mm-hmm. When I say pretended to wear it.
It was longer than that, to be honest.
No, it was about a year. Mm-hmm. Just on the weekends when I'd go see my dad, I would literally just put a scarf on. And then anytime I was in Bury St Edmunds, the area he lives, I would wear a scarf because I'm so scared to see him. So I was with my mum and my nan. And we went to a car boot, but it was in Bury St Edmunds. So I put my scarf on because I was like, if I see my dad, like, he's going to kill me. He wouldn't have killed me. It was just more like you guys probably understand. So then, because I was a really ugly kid, this is before I had braces, right?
Yeah.
I must have had, wow. Anyway, he goes, yeah.
Do you know why? I recently was going through pictures.
I was really
of
ugly.
You weren't ugly, wallah. You were actually very pretty. It's just
Why
your
are you
teeth.
lying?
No, you were very pretty. It's just
No, I
the
wasn't.
thing. Like if your teeth were straight, you would have been prettier. That's the problem.
No, I was ugly.
No, listen, you weren't ugly. Your teeth were just out of this world.
I don't know how they were like.
No, like what happened was your two front teeth were like there, and they were like you've grown into them, if that makes sense. But before,
No, I had Invisalign. I didn't grow into them.
They look big for you, and all the other ones were like behind them, so they just sit at the front really far. Remember, you had extra teeth. You had to get rid of them.
Yeah, I have to remove 4 teeth.
Yeah, she had too many teeth, so they kind of all pushed forward, and you just look like you're ready to chop something off.
That's so true. But not only was it my teeth, I had like a bit of a mustache, my eyebrows. Like,
listen, that's a child. You're a child.
Wait. Okay, fine, fair enough.
It's like I didn't have my eyebrows laminated and all this bloody stuff that they do.
Okay, let me tell you how ugly I was, right? Because Ayub's sitting here saying I wasn't ugly. I was going to this stall, right? I had a hijab on, and must have been wearing it. It wasn't like a hijab, like cute. I must have, back in the day. No, it was like we used to have only thick hijabs. It's like we didn't have jerseys. Mm-hmm. It was like the really thick ones that when you put it around, it just like adds bare head. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was going around and I was looking at this woman, this old white lady's stall, and I saw this necklace, yeah? And I picked it up and I looked at the necklace. Wallah, guess what the lady said to me?
What?
She took it out of my hand. She goes, no, that's not for little boys. Wallah.
What a vibe.
Wallah. She goes, no, that's not for little boys.
What did you think you were?
I don't know.
Saw that.
And I was so... I didn't even correct her. I was like, all right, thanks. I was actually going to get it for my sister, actually. I was so embarrassed I didn't correct her. I was just like, and I walked off.
Funny.
But that shows you how ugly I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you weren't ugly, but yeah, I get you. But oh man, car boots, man. That's such a throwback. I used to just walk around and just look at anything. It was all just crap. Isn't it weird? We're just buying other people's junk.
You know what we should do?
What? We'll take this. You don't really want it. I'm trying to get rid of it for 10 years, but you're gonna buy it.
You know what we should do? I just had a sick idea. So basically, guys, we might as well just say what we had a plan. So we had a plan to do soon a Patreon account. For our podcast.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But what we wanted to do on the podcast is not only do extra episodes, like weekly episodes, we wanted to do like maybe once a month, have a video a month that wasn't a podcast. Like it was just doing different things, whether that's baking. We should do one of the videos as us going to the car boot, yeah? No, not just going to the car boot, but having like maybe a £100 limit or £50 limit and seeing who can
get each other the best gift.
No.
I just want a gift.
Who can buy the most valuable thing and resell it?
Oh.
And make the most money out of it.
That's it.
Oh shit, maybe cut this out. Someone's going to copy our idea.
It's all right.
Don't care because I've got it written down on a date. So if you copy me, yeah.
Who cares?
I care.
But yeah, that's a sick idea. But as well, do you know what actually, no, I won't say. You have to wait till you get onto the Patreon.
Who cares?
We don't even have a link. No, I'm trying to promote the Patreon that we don't have yet.
Let us know, guys. Okay, actually, this is a perfect time. Guys, let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. So basically, we plan to do extra episodes a week, and whether that's even like an extra guest or... we just want to do for you guys what you would want to see more of.
So you'd get 2 episodes a week of Sadly Relatable, and there'd be different tiers and different
and
stuff.
also we can do live streams on there.
Live streams, and yeah, it would be like basically just a lot more intimate and a lot more.
You know what? Comment down below.
It also helps us keep everything going as well.
Yeah, exactly. Comment down below Patreon if you would want to and you'd subscribe to our Patreon. Comment down below, because I want to see who's
that'd be so
interested.
fun because that'd be so catered to like such a smaller demographic. Like it would be way more intimate and like really really fun. And we'd do things, even just normal videos where we'd like mess around, have fun, like little challenges. But yeah, that'd be sick.
Inshallah. But so.
And then we should do a giveaway where someone gets to come to a car boot with us.
Buy anything you
Imagine
want.
our content just becomes
50p.
car boot.
We have to do that, please.
Yeah,
wait, it's Sunday tomorrow.
I can go. There's a car boot right next to my house every Sunday. I might go, in the morning. Oh, I'm in the mood. I'm going to go.
Yeah, but you got to get up at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, they close at like 12.
Yeah, no, this one closes a bit later as well, so.
Oh, cute.
That's sick.
Guys, have you guys been to a car boot? Comment down below.
Yeah, I feel like it's such an outside of London type thing to do.
No, there is car boots in London. I've seen the signs
But
when I've driven past.
That's what a lot of like ethnic parents will do because they'll buy stuff to take back home. Does that make sense? Like even like my family, they're a bit nutty. They'll go to a car boot and they'll come back and be like, all right, I got this for £10, but it's worth like £300. They'll like find really good bargains and this works. All I have to do is replace this one thing.
And you know what's funny? there'll be something that they know is worth like £300, and then a woman will be like, how much is, oh, that's £1. No, you do 50p.
yeah.
My nan.
Bargainers.
Yeah, like you 50p.
And she'll be like, 50p?
Okay.
So then she'll like laugh.
I think you should go.
Oh.
So I wanted to do something.
Mm-hmm.
How long do we have left?
Another good 10, 15 minutes.
Okay, so maybe we can do this once an episode, or we can do a whole episode dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm.
But let me stop cheering.
Yeah, please.
Speak to them.
Guys, have you heard of Kayla Cash's TikTok? Yeah, go check it out.
So bad. So I wanted to do Am I the Asshole For?
Okay.
So on TikTok, and a lot of people in podcasts do Am I the Asshole, where they just read out subreddits of people saying Am I the Asshole For, and then they explain things that make them look like an asshole.
Okay, yeah.
Do we say asshole or asshole?
Ass.
Asshole?
No,
I thought you were going to say ass.
I'll say ass.
So I've got a couple. I didn't want to read them too much, but...
Oh, yeah, because like you don't want to like...
Yeah.
Ruin.
But, okay.
Let's go. I'm excited for this. Jeez, something new. Welcome back to Am I the Asshole with Kayla in this room.
I don't know what one to do though, because there's a few. I got my friend to send me one, and then I like clicked on a few that looked interesting. But
Let's
just do a quick one, right? Yeah. Am I the asshole for suing my mum? When I was a kid, my mum was obsessed with putting me on TV. I was in a good amount of commercials and advertisements, which luckily secured me a good amount of money my parents stored away somewhere, as I was way too young to manage it. Growing up, I stopped doing all these things because I never enjoyed it, and I only really did it to please my parents. I was glad that part of my life was over. A couple of years after I stopped doing it, my parents had gotten divorced and kept half of my commercial money away. My dad had it invested, and my mum just kept it safe somewhere. When I'd gotten older, I had eventually forgotten about the money my parents both kept until my dad recently brought it up. He had asked me if I wanted to keep the money in the investments or withdraw them. I asked to keep in the investments. However, knowing that my mum had done nothing with it, I ended up asking if I could have the money as I'm old enough now. For reference, both my parents had split 100k each. She ended up telling me that my dad had taken all the money, she had none. Knowing this wasn't true, I pressured her to tell me the truth about what happened to it. She ended up confessing that she spent it all and refused to give me any of the money I worked for. Furious, I hung up the phone and out of frustration rang my dad and asked for his advice. He told me I should file a lawsuit against my mum and take what's rightfully mine. I haven't spoken to my mum since, and I'm sitting on the decision whether to take legal action or just let it go. I know something like this would affect our relationship, but at the same time, it's not a small amount of money. I'm leaning more towards taking legal action, but I'm still unsure. Your mum should take legal action against you for tearing her private areas up when you came out.
Listen, right here, right now. We've all lost 100k. Do you know how much Eid money I gave to my mum to store away? I ain't seen it since today, since I grew up. It's more over 100k, trust me.
Birthdays, Eid. Oh, give me that. I'll take care of it for you.
I ain't seen none.
Yeah.
Maybe I should sue. No, I'm joking. No, for real. I don't know, because realistically, yeah, I understand. Maybe in their cultures, it might be a bit different, but like, you never had the money in the first place, so what are you losing? And I would think that maybe she was going through something like that could have saved her.
Yeah, respectfully, yeah, your mum was getting up, looking after you on the days you're sick, looking after you when you're sleeping, when you're getting up in the middle of the night. She risked, she probably, her body done a drastic change that she probably didn't want. Breastfed you, it would have hurt. 9 months of pregnancy, taking you to school, bringing you back. She sacrificed years of her life. To be honest with you, she's probably owed 10 times the amount that she took. It was only 50k, only 50k.
You can't even repay that. There's no way you can't repay that.
You can't even repay, well, Islamically we believe that you wouldn't even be able to repay your mother for one kick in her belly.
Yeah, that's like from that
Islamic
type of pain. And do you know what's crazy about it is he's making her life even more, or her, or whoever it was, making their mother's life even more stressed now. Like, she's getting to her old age. That's why you want to relax. Now she's dealing with a lawsuit against her own child, going back and forth. She hasn't got the money, clearly.
Yeah.
And it's not like you gave it to her and then you lost it and then now I have nothing, I'm stuck. You had nothing to begin with. Why are you stressing?
Not just that, you've still got the investments. You've still got 50k.
Like, be upset. Okay, mom, why did you do that? But like, people are like, I don't know.
Also, I feel like it's important to...
I don't know. Sometimes I skit like this. I'm like, maybe it's harder than we think, being in the actual position and not having that.
I get being pissed off and angry. I'm not gonna lie. I can't say I wouldn't be angry with my mum. I wouldn't be like why would you do that? Do you get it? But a lawsuit. I'm sorry, a lawsuit against your mother.
It's the dad's fault. They're the ones who suggested it.
I
That's
don't
what happens
know.
when they're divorced.
And it's not like you don't have anything. Like they had 100k, they split it. The person has lost 50k, but his dad still has 50k in investment.
100k each.
No, it said it's 50k between them.
Oh.
So it's 50k each. No, 100k between them. They split the 100k.
Okay.
And also those investments probably went up to like 100k or even more.
Maybe, yeah.
I just feel like I don't know, man. It's just a weird world we live in.
Yeah, I think they are the asshole for that, to be honest. I'll answer that right now.
Yes, the answer is yes.
And your mother, it's wrong that she did that, but I don't think she'd do it. And unless she was going out and just getting drunk or doing that type of stuff, then it's like, oh, what, you just wasted my life away. But I don't know, I just cannot imagine a mother struggling to pay the bills. Single mother, she got divorced. She probably used it to like live.
Divorce settlements, like spending money on courts and lawyers. And you know what? She probably even spent some of that money in order to like keep you, get a lawyer so that your dad doesn't take custody of
just for you to turn around and be like, you bitch.
Oh my gosh. I think it's like interesting how people have different dynamics in their relationships and like even how some people make their children pay rent.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But no. Don't. I used to think that as well.
Saving it. No, we spoke about this. Saving it and giving it to them, teaching them money responsibilities.
Not just that. I used to always be like, what the hell? But some people might just genuinely be struggling. Like, how can we afford? None of us can afford this, so we all need to work together.
Forget that. I'm not talking about those people. Of course, I'm not talking about the people that are struggling and their children are capable.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the people who take the money and then they save it and then they give it to them to buy a house. I'm not talking about the people that are just trying to teach this. I'm talking about the people, because there are out there like that. They think once you start working, even if I'm not struggling, even if the rent's paid, whatever, you're working, I deserve, you're living here, so you need to pay rent. If my mum told me to pay rent just out of paying rent because I had got to that age and she wasn't struggling, I mean, like, did I ask to be here though?
Yeah.
Because I genuinely didn't ask to be born, so like, why are you making me pay rent?
Yeah. I'll just go pay rent somewhere else.
Yeah.
Why'd I pay rent to have one room on my own
No, but
and
they
still
do
have to live
obviously
under your
make the
rules?
rent cheaper.
I might as well go get my own rent and have my own rules.
No, but a lot of people that do it would make the rent a lot cheaper than living. And
I wouldn't. They can pay it full price, maybe double even. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, sorry, I've been like waffling this episode. I'm sorry, guys.
Damn right. No, I've enjoyed it. It's good to see you like
talking too much.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, I'll be honest. That is all for this episode. Don't forget to comment about the Patreon if that's something you're actually interested in. And yeah, tell us, do you think that person was the asshole for suing?
Yeah,
maybe you have
comment
different
down
opinions.
below.
People have different relationships with their parents. Sometimes their parents are not good, so they do feel like they deserve to
I guess
get
we
something
are
out of
assuming
it.
that it's like a good mother.
Yeah,
like,
it's true. It's a bit different. But yeah, Nishan, where can they find you?
You can find me chewing on my mango. You can find me at It's Nishan on Instagram and TikTok.
You can find me at Kelo Cash on all social media platforms. Don't forget to follow Relatable Podcast on Instagram and TikTok. Guys, please leave a like, share, and a comment. We need to get that engagement back up. We need to reach new people. We love you guys so much. Please like, share, comment, all that good stuff. And don't forget to tune in next week for our next episode. Love you lot so much. Don't forget to check us out as well on all our social media platforms doing amazing things. And we'll see you lot next week. Peace.
Bye.